Brian, you have the report. Danny, Jim, Angie. Angie, I don't hear you.
I do not have the report.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
I have it.
I can share it if you like.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest.
I guess Danny has control. I can't share my screen. Maybe Danny has to do it.
You can share the screen. That would help me because I'm running between two screens and making notes.
John, I just made you host again.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so this is as of August 11th, a few days ago. So to date, we've collected roughly 90% of the membership dues. So that's a total of about $11,000. And we also recently received allotments for the fiscal years 2018, 2019, and I'm sorry, 2017, 18, and 19. No, 18, 19, and 20, my fault. 18, 19, and 20, we received the allotments. With that said, we still have roughly $12,000 that is yet to be paid by the clubs. And I sent you with this budget an updated aging report. And you can look at that to see in more detail which clubs are, let's say, the most behind. But the 90% is better than what we had originally budgeted. We were expecting only 85%. So that's a definite positive as far as money's coming in. The Junior World Golf account has a positive balance of roughly $1,000 at this point in time. That will carry over to next year. And Jim and I discussed that, and he's in contact with Mike to plan for the coming year. We have on the expenses side, our total expenses to date is roughly $8,400. That's the sum at the bottom of the page for the 4 quarters. So the amount that will carry over to the next administration will be a very healthy total. And financially speaking, the district is in a very strong position. We made some adjustments to the expenses that will be positive going forward. We eliminated QuickBooks. We eliminated the VirtueWorks. And Danny has set up our website domain and our email addresses at lower amounts going forward. In fact, the .org domain name is good for the next 3 years. So there won't be any cost associated with that. As you all know, it's been a low activity year, so the expenses have been rather low, which will help the future administrations going forward.
If I jump in real quick here, I think one of the items that probably Brian and Jim need to look into is that we shaved a lot of money off budget amount allocated to governor, lieutenant governor, and some other things because we did not know where we're going to go this year with collection and so forth. So we shaved a lot of that money out of the budget. And I think Brian and Jim may want to go back and relook into that for next year and probably put that money back into the budget. And those are specific to governor, lieutenant governors, secretary, treasurer, and some other things that we felt as a governor and administration, we're not going to have that many expenses this year. So we took them out and possibly tried to use them other places, whether it's helping other clubs or other members and so forth, because they're not being used. But next, for the next administration, I'm sure Chris would be more than happy to help you with it. I will be also more than happy to help you to, maybe go back and maybe add some of that money back if we feel that's, needed, and the district go back healthy again next year from the pandemic that we have right now. And I think Jim or maybe Brian have brought up that question before, and the reason we did is we just don't know what money was going to come in, and we wanted to make sure we're, as an administration, we're very lean on our expenses to make sure we can support our district.
Good.
Does anybody have any questions regarding the budget financial?
I do. As somebody new to this, those allocations for governor and lieutenant governor, are those amounts that are given to help us as far as like for travel expenses or to help clubs in need, or what is that amount?
The governor, usually all these have been set from before, so the governor and lieutenant, so it's, and not everybody's using it, those allocation, but let's say you travel to go to another club. So we will allocate some money for you for gas money, if nothing else, to travel there. Or if we want to do, like what we did recently is when we did the Zone 1 regional conference, we have offered lunch to all the members from those zones that attended. So that will come from that fund. So those are things we can utilize to give back to our community and help them in different ways. And that would be, if you look at the top disbursement part of the budget. On the bottom one, they are related directly to international conventions. So when a governor or governor-elect will go to attend the training, we will pay certain amount for their expenses. Meaning is, I know international will probably pay for their airfare. They probably pay for some of their hotels, but there are some other expenses that we want to help them get there and come back. Obviously, it's not for him to go get a vacation. It's more of supporting him and doing whatever he needs to do to get those certification and training and so forth. We don't want, like some people may not need the expenses, and some of them, they probably do. We don't want that to become a burden on someone to be able to travel and say, my God, I got to spend another $30 or $100 here or $50 here, and not being able to perform really what they want to perform. We need to make sure we're taking care of them as well for putting the time and doing what they need to do. Any other question? Anybody else?
I'll say for your 30,000 foot view, our total income so far for the year is $15,228.10. Expenses is $8,381.88. for a net positive difference of $6,846.22. So the expenses yet to finish between now and the end of September would be any cost from this convention, and I think any small
Can we hold up
miscellaneous.
for just a second? I can't get back to my window. I'm gonna have to sign out and sign back in. Hold that thought.
Should I mute the should I
Bathroom
stop
break.
the recording while she's doing that?
Yep, that's okay.
You can do bathroom break.
She's our secretary, so we need to make sure she's recording all that. So I don't want to do anything without her being on. She needs to turn the report, so she's got to have the right report.
I took my screen off of mute, and this is Patsy again. I just want to say that's congratulations on collecting 90% of your district funds. That is amazing. A lot of the districts are not succeeding in that. So knowing the area that you are in, that there's a lot of sports clubs, that to me, that was very, very encouraging. So congratulations for that. And just while you're sitting here in your executive session and waiting for her to pop back in, keep in mind if A has an issue and literally just cannot pay those dues, please call the Optimus International office and they will do everything they can to work out a payment plan and to help with that while we go through this time, because a lot of clubs can't do their programs, and if you can't do your sports program, we would rather the club stay and try to work out something beneficial to hopefully the club and the members than, the potential loss of a club.
Betsy, did you say Little Haiti?
Did I say what?
Say what was the club name?
No, I didn't mention a club.
Club name.
I just said clubs in general. If there is a club that, sorry, that's my Texas accent.
That's all right. No. This is one of the reasons why we're shaving some of the expenses from us, also to try to help some other clubs somehow. We have few people that joined in. I don't see Janet back in.
John, excuse me.
John,
you need to let Janet in.
Yeah,
Also, we have members that are trying to get in.
in the waiting room, John.
Okay, I didn't know we were waiting.
Yeah, you have people that are waiting in the waiting room. I'm getting texts. Danny, could you make somebody else co-host?
Okay, I think they should all be.
I can help with that, Danny, if you want.
We have Janet, thank you for coming back. We have few people that joined in. President Elcock is in, Russell is in, and Patsy just spoke a minute ago.
John?
Yeah.
How can I minimize this screen that you're sharing so I can get to my typing? The screen took over. I need to minimize it, and I can't get to anything else on my computer.
You mean like that?
If you
No,
go up to, Janet, if you go up to the top, you should have the option to get out of full screen.
I don't. That's the problem. Hold on.
There is a place that says you can minimize, you can exit from viewing full screen on your end.
I think I'm on multiple screen. Maybe that's why she's.
I was gonna say I can't. It's not letting me.
Okay.
There is nowhere for me to click. It is so big. It's not letting me do anything.
Janet, look on the top.
Okay, I pulled out. I've gone a different way completely.
Janet, that's okay. We're done with the financial. You have a copy of it, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're done with it, so that's okay if you don't see that screen right now.
Okay,
Janet, we're also recording the meeting, so I can forward you the link.
perfect. Thank you.
So
You can send that to me after. That'd be great. Okay, I'm ready.
we have a few people that joined, so I'd like you all to meet President Adrian Elcock, who's on the session with us right now. Adrian, welcome. Thank you for joining, and please, the floor is yours to say a few words.
Thank you. So,
Could you let the rest of the people in? There's some more people that are trying to get in. They're texting me.
Yep, I'm gonna try to do that right now.
okay, I'll give you a few minutes to let them in.
Yep, they're in. I'm gonna keep that window open to make sure everybody's able to come in.
Okay, great.
Thank you, President, for joining us. How exciting.
It's great to be here, Janet. I got a little birdie told me that you had a convention today, so I said, well, why not spend my Saturday morning or part of my Saturday morning with one of my best governors who's working extremely hard in South Florida. So I bring greetings from Optimist International, the board of directors. I recognize on the screen my friend and colleague, Patsy Garner, President-elect, who I'm sure will rock you with some wonderful words. And I see the International Vice President. I'm not sure how he traveled faster than me. We were just in Gateway about 10 minutes ago, and I thought I beat him to the flight. But it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here, seeing our old friends, Danny and John and Jasmine. I just wanted to come on this call and say that if I had governors who worked half as hard as John Dina, this organization would be in the stratosphere. John, I really want to say to you, thank you for all that you are doing for your district. I know that there's some who thinks that the South Florida district has been challenged in the past, but I don't think that narrative can continue in the future, in the present, or in the future. You have worked hard, you have brought your skills to the table, and you've been able to create a district that is building harmony, driving great projects, and embracing the programs that we talked about in our training. I know you and Jasmine are fully committed to this effort, and I want to commend both of you publicly for all that you have done to try to embrace the theme of reimagining this organization and specifically your district as you try your best to drive our organization to greater heights. To all of the members of the district, thank you for embracing the leadership that Governor John has brought to the table. South Florida is well known in our organization for sports clubs in particular, and President-elect Patsy and myself have agreed to undertake an ambitious project to reimagine our sports club programs. We believe that there are a lot of issues that are of concern to our sports clubs, but also that are of concern to us as a board. And we need to tackle these issues head on and forthright to ensure that these clubs feel that they're part of our family, that they're not disparate, they're not a separate entity, but they can benefit from much more than just playing sports. They can benefit a whole lot from the personal and social development opportunities that we bring to the table at Optimist International. At Optimist International over the last 9 months, I have a little saying that goes, it comes from Mike Tyson. He says, everybody got a plan until they get hit. And we had a great plan and we got hit, but we kind of stuck to our plan still. We just adapted and reimagined it. And we were able to embrace technology to allow all of you to be here, having your convention still. I know Florida is a hot spot as much as many other places in the world, and it is very responsible of your leadership to protect your membership by using the virtual platforms that so many of us have now become accustomed to. And we have invested so much time in training people how to use that it makes it possible that we can have this virtual convention. And I think that's a plus. We've also spent a lot of time looking at how we can use the same technology for training and personal development. We've rolled out our learning management system. We have looked at improving our webinars, and we've had our virtual international convention. When you package all these together, you can brand it all as a digital transformation of our organization. Now, this in no way is meant to replace the joy and love that we get from embracing each other and coming together in person. It's not meant for that. It's meant to supplement and enhance what we do, but also to connect us to that new generation of young leaders who are more comfortable within the digital environment. So, John, thank you again for using this technology to allow me to be here. I always planned that I wanted to be in Naples or somewhere in the South Florida area to support you at one of your conventions. And when I heard that your convention was today, I said, whether I'm invited or not, I am coming, because I am super thrilled at the work that you have done here. And I'm super thrilled at the support that you have gotten from your team. On behalf of Optimist International and the board of directors, I want to encourage you to finish your year strong, retain your members, We are having a goal that we're working with of 90%. We're currently at 88% retention throughout the organization. And that's important because we believe that without retention, you can't protect the legacy of the projects that your clubs have done over the years. You need to have those members feel vested and engaged at the club level, because clubs are the center of our universe. And in much the same way as the Optimist Club of Naples has done the revolutionary program of soccer, where over 200 children, I believe, or thousands of children for sure, have passed through that program, where they've developed important life and team building skills. You have an opportunity in many of the other programs and many of the other clubs to do similar things, but you need to keep your members grounded. You need to keep them on the roster and ensure that you can end your year strong with a strong retention rate while still attracting many new people to our organization. So thank you again for having me for these few moments and stealing a part of your agenda. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for the love that you and Jasmine have shown Anne and I and my family in the few moments we have spent together whenever we have seen each other in person. To all the members of the district, let's finish this thing strong. Let's pass the baton to President-designate Mark. He has an important theme that is no coincidence. I have asked you, as the first president of the next century of service of Optimist International, to reimagine this organization. And President Mark is asking you to choose optimism, to embrace the values that brought us all together in the first place. So it's a relay race that has meaning. It's a relay race that has no defined end. We're going to keep going until we get to 2021. And then President Patsy will bring her youthful dynamism to the fore and allow us to continue this great journey into this century of service for Optimist International to make us the premier service organization serving youth in the world. Thank you all. Much love.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions of me? Any quick questions?
Adrian, thank you for the kind word. It takes all of us to do what we're doing. It's not just me. It's me, my team, who's superb behind me all this time. It's all these clubs that are in our district that, even with all the issues we've been having with the pandemic, a lot of them have tried to stick together, work together, and make the best out of it. So it's not a simple task this season or this year for anybody, but keep and staying optimistic and figure out how can we manage it and don't let it manage us. That's the only way that we can succeed. Again, I really thank you for dropping in and for the kind word for everybody. It's definitely an honor and a surprise for us. The same thing when Patsy jumped in as well. That was very honor for us as well.
You're quite welcome. Good luck again, and thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Russell.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Russell is in the house. Russell, I'd love to hear a word from you as well before we continue real quick with our meeting.
Let's see. Absolutely, John. I can't say any more than President Adrian did. Matter of fact, he took all the wind out of my sails, but he does that quite often. But he is a man of outstanding character and been a great leader for us, as you have been also. And I know that you can't do what you do without your team. So personally, I'd like to thank your whole team for doing everything they can. And we want sports and things to get back to the regular. I'm excited every time I hear something getting ready to go down and a new sports thing happening. So we appreciate you guys for what you do, for sticking in there. And that's really what makes an Optimist different, is staying the course, being there in hard times. And you guys are doing that. And although you're number 3, that South Carolina district's #1, but I didn't say that. But anyway, give y'all something to shoot for. We love you guys, and you're doing a great job. And I look forward to spending some more time with you today. So thank you.
I thank you, Russ, for the kind word. I think I mentioned to you the last time you said that the war is not over yet.
Absolutely.
There's always run to the last minute, and I've got a really good team on my hand and by my side that we will definitely plug up again that number.
Governor Bonnie's a bragger, though. You know that, right?
And you know what? She's such a great lady. I'm happy for her. I really am. She's very positive, very optimistic. I love her smiley face all the time, very supportive. I'm glad she is doing that well. That's wonderful. I really am. at the end of the day, Russell, we're all in it for the same reason.
Absolutely.
We keep on challenging ourselves to all become better. Nothing wrong with that. You know, you go up, you go down, then you challenge yourself to go back up again. So that's really what we want to do. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and go back to our financial report.
Excuse me, John. I think there's more people waiting in the waiting room.
Oh, yep, I see now some. Yes, thank you. Oh, my goodness.
John, can you make me the host and I'll take care of that for you?
Yeah, yes, please. And do I just go to your name, I guess, and assign you as a host? Let me see where you're at. It'd be easier for me if you do that, Danny. Thank you. Just need to find you now.
DD.
I found make host. Yep. Thank you, Danny.
No worries.
So back on the, well, first of all, Charles, thank you for coming in. Evelyn, thank you for coming in. And you really got to hear when you get a chance, Adrian. I know Patsy heard some of the stuff yesterday, but you really got to hear some of the stuff that's happening, whether it's Little Haiti or Perrine Club and some other clubs that we have. I mean, some of the stuff they're doing is beyond belief and nobody knows about. I mean, some of the awards they have won nationally that nobody even knows about. And we're trying to work through this to making sure we highlight them so everybody knows the kind of good work they're doing and not keep it just for themselves. It's really what they do should be shared by everybody. And that hopefully will open up more doors for people who want to be part of it, for the amount of work that they do and the good that they do in the community. So thank you for joining. Back on the financial, was there any other question regarding the financial before we move to make motions? Anybody make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second the motion to approve. Angie Rodriguez makes the motion to approve. Second the motion to approve.
Janet, you got all that?
Nope. Who made the motion?
Brian made the motion and Angie second.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so go beyond the budget. So now let's talk a little bit about our district. I know there are some clubs that are struggling and some clubs are stagnant right now and some may be doing okay. But let's go ahead and start. Jim, would you like to start? Give us a little quick report on your zone, if you will.
John, can you take the financials off now or?
I did. I turned it off. Is it not?
No, it's still on.
I got it. All right, Jim, you're up.
John and Danny, thank you. You heard from 4 of my clubs last night on the cocktail hour. You've heard a few this morning, but the South Florida district is still actively engaged in some of the activities, although 90% of my clubs are sports clubs. That's all shut down and continues to be one of the few counties in Florida that is totally shut down with sports. But again, thanks to the leadership of my club presidents, there's 5 online this morning. Their leadership is what's taking us through this tough time. And as long as they're in the leadership role, we'll be in good shape in South Florida, and the activities will continue as best they can until we can get back into full swing. So really thanks to all the presidents that are attending this morning and for all they do for the South Florida community. They're really great to work with. Again, their reports speak louder than what I could say in their behalf, but I'm so proud to represent them. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for your report. Angie, can you give us just a brief description on yours?
Zone 2 has 11 clubs. Most of them are sports clubs. So Most have been, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they've been shut down as far as their involvement, but they're still running as clubs. I have been able to communicate with at least 5 of them, with their president. I have Evelyn on, which is my president in Miramar Optimist. Thank you, Evelyn. The Miramar Optimist still functioning as far as services. We've been volunteering with the city of Miramar, with their food distribution, which is what they're doing as far as servicing the community. Every Thursday they have a food distribution, so we try to get our volunteers, myself and my family have been out there, and then we try to rotate some of our volunteers from the Optimist to go out there and help the city. Unfortunately, we also had one of the biggest cities worker, which we've worked for many years. I mean, we've known him. I've been in the Optimist since, I want to say 2001, and I've known him for probably 15, 18 years, and he passed about 2 weeks ago, and rumors said that it was during one of the food distributions. So keep the family in your prayers. So that's how our club has been kept active, is through this with the city, helping them with their distribution and so on. We try to keep in touch with the families if there are any families that are, in need and so forth. But as far as the activities within the clubs, there are really none. Like I said, most of our clubs are sports clubs, but our dues are being collected. We have a few clubs that are behind, and again, those clubs, I've been trying to get a hold of some of them. Some of them don't have cell phones some of the presidents don't have phone numbers on the database of Optimist International. So it's difficult because I can't show up to their meetings like I used to. As governor, I used to visit their clubs physically because they're really close by. Zone 2 is fortunately a very close zone, but now with the pandemic, there is no meeting, there is nowhere for me to even visit them, so I can't really get a hold of them. So hopefully this is going to turn around for us, but I'm positive, and some of this is going to turn around, and we're looking at the sunny side of everything. And that's it. I was hoping, I'm actually texting some of the presidents that said that they were going to be online with us this morning, and heard from one of them, and that's about it. The other ones, I haven't had any reply from them. Like PPO, the president said he was going to be online, and West PPO, the secretary said they were going to be online, but I have not heard from them as far as this couple of days. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Angie, for your report.
Welcome.
Brian?
Zone 3 has 7 clubs. The majority are sports clubs, so sports are on hold right now. I have 2 out of my 7 clubs that have finished their core reports. I have 1 club that's on the 31 to 60 past due. And last time I reached out to them, they paid rather quickly, so I'm just waiting for them to get back to me on it. From the clubs that I've spoken to, the majority of their meetings are virtual, since they can't really meet face to face. And we had 1 club that the longtime president decided to retire, and a younger gentleman decided to step in. So I'm kind of looking forward to working with him and that club. Aside from that, that's basically it.
Thank you, Brian. And Zone 1 is going to mix between sports club and service club. The sports club are actually on hold, and we're one of them. However, we were able to run some of the program we did that has no sport connection to them, and that's really all to Janet's hard work with that, from the essay contest to some of the scholarship we award for kids going to college and so forth. So that has happened, and I think we had the youth appreciation that was still done, I believe. But outside of that, we're trying to just get back into the swing of things as far as sports. We have one club in Sebring that's pretty Asian club, and it ended up having just really 2 members in it. I had several conversations with the president over the past year, and again earlier this year. They weren't able to survive, and the president passed away recently, maybe the past couple months, and we weren't able to get anybody new into the club. So that club, we're probably gonna go away, and that's the Sebring. The rest of them are just service club, and again, with the pandemic that's going on, a lot of them are really not doing very much, but we're hoping maybe over the next maybe 2 or 3 months where things may change a little bit, everybody will get back in service somehow. That would be all the report for all the zones that we have. Any questions from anybody? Okay, as we move. Yes.
Recently, the Sebring Club did meet, and they gave a large check to the foundation, I believe. I'd have to go back and verify. But somebody stepped up to do some work within that club, even though the president has passed. One goal that I would like to do, and I'd like to do it with you, is reach out to them, maybe visit them and see if there's any hope and maybe continuing that.
I called the in Sebring. There was the lady that was in a hospice, which ended up passing, and I spoke with another gentleman. Trying to remember his name, Earl Luke, and he was a professor in college. I spoke with him last year. I spoke with him this year. I spoke with him about maybe a little over 6-8 weeks ago. Wanted to drive up and meet with him. He was moving out of the state. He couldn't do it anymore. He said we have a younger lady that he thought she was interested, but he couldn't get her to accept the position. If something happened after that, then I'm not aware of it. But the last conversation with him was maybe about 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks ago. And that was, his name was Earl Luke. He was really the only contact I had with the club since the president passed. That was Jacqueline.
Okay, well, they just gave a chunk of money, so maybe what they were doing is emptying the funds of the club.
They were whatever money they had. Yeah. They were, because they couldn't, like I said, he couldn't get the lady he thought he was able to get to take over. It was a younger lady, was involved with the club, but it was a single mom. And he's telling me she wasn't able to take that position. And I offered to come over and help him and do whatever we can just to keep it alive, even with her only, and try to recruit some people around her. But being a single mom and have a full-time job, she wasn't able to commit to that position at all. So right now, I don't believe the club had been dissolved yet, but it could, unless something happens, over the next, few months or so. But that's what it's at. Any old business that you would like to bring up from before that we have left? Janet? Brian? I'm not aware of any. Chris, do you have any old business? Shannon? Yes, go ahead. Unmute yourself, please.
I just wanted to bring up that I had spoken with Angie about the reminder for the Bahamas that we were going to send money last year that was never sent. And I was wondering if we were going to review that and make sure that got sent to those people who were needy with the hurricane hitting them. I don't know if that's something that we need to address again.
Shannon, I think there were several conversations about that, and I believe, we can bring it up again. The consensus from the most of the board that I heard of is we wanted to keep that money in South Florida, because anytime
that money was approved.
Go ahead, Angie. I'm not aware of all that money that was sent or not sent. If you want to bring it up again, I remember me not voting for it, but I'm not sure who else did. And if it was approved, that was prior to me taking over. So I don't know what happened back then. So if it was never sent, we can bring it up and talk about it again.
I do have those notes. Unfortunately, I have them at the Naples house. I'm in the Lake Butler house, but I have the notes on exactly what amount of money was approved and what it was approved for. So I'm happy to review those notes, but again, it have to be one day next week when I head to the Naples house.
Okay, if you can do that, please, and that'll.
I will. I will review those notes and I will make sure everybody gets a copy of that.
Okay, thank you.
My only concern, if that was approved last year, that should have been sent last year. If it wasn't sent, then I'm not aware of it. All I'm saying, because it was
But if
approved.
it wasn't sent, the money's
Right.
still in the account and it should be sent.
Angie, what I'm saying, it was prior to my administration, so I don't know if that was sent or not sent.
It was all done on the Sunday meeting. That's why I have
It was.
notes, because I took some notes. It was
Right.
on Sunday following the memorial at that meeting. And I don't know the specifics, but I do have them all written down.
Janet, that'll be fine. Like I said, I don't know how many said yay or nay at the time, and it may have been approved. I know I was not for it. Personally, I wasn't, but I don't know what the rest votes was on it. But we can go back and check on that. Like I said, that was the previous administration, so I didn't know what went out or didn't go out of it. But that's fine. We definitely look at it. Janet, please do so we can bring it up at next meeting, if you will, or before. We can always call for another special meeting and discuss that. It doesn't have to be at whenever that meeting is. Do we have any pending items that we need to discuss from anybody? Okay, I wanted to have a little conversation about the golf tournament, but I think Mike Goldman wasn't gonna join. I got a text from him. He won't be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
John, I have before we get to golf, I have a new item that I would like to get the board's approval for. When I take over on October 1st, one of the things I want to do is set up sort of a succession plan within the district where we can identify newer members and kind of get them involved in the district. And one of my ideas is to create 4 assistant lieutenant governor positions for the zones. And basically they will work hand in hand with the lieutenant governor, see what that position entails. And it gives us a fallback option whenever a lieutenant governor decides to step back or decides to move up into another position. We have someone who already knows what that job entails. So I want to put a motion forward to add 4 assistant lieutenant governor positions to the district board.
Okay.
And if I could be acknowledged.
Oh, sorry.
Just before, I just want to say, as somebody who is being put forward as a lieutenant governor, without having been an assistant lieutenant, I think that this is a great idea. I am a bit daunted. Brian has pledged to help me along, but it is a bit daunting to take on a task and hope that you can fulfill it to the best of your ability. But if I'd had a year to kind of learn the ropes, I think I could have, I would feel more prepared. So I definitely think from my perspective, this is an amazing idea from Brian.
Okay, are we gonna do a motion?
Yes.
Okay, can I motion that we accept to bring on board for the board assistant lieutenant governors for however many zone Brian is going to have next year for forthgoing.
Okay, second discussion. Any discussion?
We brought over the discussion with Sandra.
Okay.
That said,
yeah,
I think it is a good idea. I think that's why I was like this, but I think it is a very good idea. Going from president to lieutenant governor to past governor, I think educating and communicating is an important task with our members. I think sometimes we lose volunteers because of not preparing them, not educating our members. And I think that's where we water ourselves down and not grow and not bring up, sometimes the pyramid is like this and we water ourselves down. And I think it's a great idea to have assistant. And that's how, listening to one of the OI trainings, the succession training, it's very important to have people in place. People get sick, people get tired, and if you have somebody that you can lean on and count on, I mean, I had my assistant, which Jim and you, John, you guys were like, my people that I would call on, and I don't think I could have done it without any of you. And you always say you could not do it with any of us. And I think with assistant, this is going to work a lot better. And then those assistant can become lieutenant governor, and then we could keep going like the domino effect, get assistant for those lieutenant governors coming in. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, so the question really becomes, we go back, is you have a governor, you have a governor-elect, and that's why we want we want to have the continuity.
Right.
But
now you have lieutenant governor and assistant governor.
But it does. I agree with all that. But what I'm saying is, do we really need to make a motion on it to say we want to have someone else to be helping a lieutenant governor? And if we do, it's just something that we want to put in the bylaws to make it permanent that, well, we're going to have a lieutenant governor and an assistant lieutenant governor. I'm not against the idea. I'm just saying is the procedure of doing it. I believe.
Well, our policies can change any given time.
Correct. I'm not saying it's not.
They're not bylaws. They're policies. They're district policies. So
I understand. I'm saying is, do we want to make it one or the other? Because obviously we should always have a backup for every person in the district. That should be the same thing with the secretary. Shouldn't we have someone that, in case the secretary gets sick, should have someone? And right now we do. We have secretary-elect. We have a treasurer-elect. So I agree with you. I'm just saying this is something that we can make it a policy, or maybe we could make it either way.
Well,
but
my idea is to have those 4 positions added to the bylaw, to the club policy.
To the
policies.
The
Okay,
district
and
policies.
that district policy, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Because in all reality, the treasurer and the secretary work together, so they're kind of back up each other. You understand? So
Well, not only that, we already actually have a district secretary-elect, and you have a district treasurer-elect, so they already have a backup for them. Lieutenant governors are really the only one that do not have an assistant per se, an assistant position. The other ones already do, because you're electing your future secretary or treasurer the year before. So hopefully they're working together before their term is up. And when the next time comes, then it would be the next one have a backup as well. So that's fine. We can change if all, I understand what you're saying. And we can add to the policy, yes.
I think it's a great idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll add it to the policy. Thank you, Brian. Okay, you're welcome. Back on the junior golf tournament, again, Michael was gonna get on, but I don't see him on yet. He said he'd be around 10. I wanted him to discuss it more. This is really more of his baby, and he knows more about it. And Michael normally do a fundraising and collect probably close to somewhere about $3,000 almost every year in funds to support that program, so the district doesn't have to worry about supporting that program itself. So yes, we help run it, we help manage it, but Michael and his team do most of the work on running that golf tournament. And they've been doing it for a long time, and this is really a really good program that he has been doing. Again, I wish he was online now. He will be a little bit later to explain more about it. And if you wanted to get more information about it, I can connect you with Michael Goldman, and he could either contact you via phone, or he can email you, or you can email him and get more information about it. With no further ado, moving the, do I have a question, Sandra? You had it up? Sandra, did you? Oh, okay, I thought maybe you had it up. Okay, so now we move to our next item on the agenda, and that's governor nomination and the election. I had some, I personally had some people in mind, but I guess It doesn't work for them this time because of the pandemic. It has taken a lot of toll on some of the members within the district, and not allowing them to pursue maybe with an option as being future governor. But I'll leave that to, I'll turn that over to Russell right now and see if he will take this part from here.
Okay, I'd be glad to. Do y'all have a parliamentarian, on the meeting here? No? Okay. I'm going to make an assumption that we have a quorum to move forward with a vote. Is that? Okay, I see lots of head shaking, so.
Yes, we do. We have full quorum, yes.
Okay, so I don't have to go through all that. That's great. So I mean, it's really a great honor to be here with you guys and to be able to lead a election process. So I don't know how to do all this by memory, so I'm going to look through a few things here. So we're gonna run this close to Robert's rules as we possibly can, and y'all do have a candidate qualifications committee. Is that correct?
Hi, Russ. Doesn't this bring you memories?
Yes, it does. I got to tell you, I got snowed in up here, and our first convention was kind of like this Zoom thing. So it's kind of exciting for me, except
so we got to practice like 3 years ago, didn't we?
Twice I'd be invited to see you guys, and first it was a snowstorm, and then it's the COVID-19. So I don't know what that says about me, or maybe something about you guys, but we love you guys. But it is kind of interesting that we've been here before, right, Angie?
Yep, same place.
Well, keep Atlanta calm, because I know you're in that region. Just keep that calm for this coming summer, okay?
Absolutely. We're looking forward to the convention.
I expected you to have your Santa outfit, like Christmas in August.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I'm growing my beard. It just started to get it to be in by December. I promise you and the kids it'll be that way. So
you and Jim are looking alike.
Yeah. So we'll open up the floor for nominations. Nominations are now open for the office of governor-elect. Are there any nominations from the floor for governor-elect?
I have a nomination.
And that nomination is?
Well, I have a nomination, but I don't know if this is allowed, Ross. I know that we're supposed to have elections every fourth quarter. Being the circumstances, and I'm gonna step in here and I don't know if I have a nomination. I don't know if she's going to accept, but being the circumstances that we're in South Florida with the COVID, I know that Governor-elect Brian is going to come into a uncertain year right now, October 1st. We don't know how it's going to be. Governor John ended a year with uncertainty because, he came in, we were coming full blown. We had a lot of plans. Fortunately, we got to do some things at the beginning, and then February came and March came, and all had to be shifted to technology, Zooms, and so on. I don't know if we can table the elections to first quarter conference. That will be after October 1st, and then see how Brian's year is going to start. I don't know if we can motion to table this election.
Well, I think if it is a district decision, and naturally an international, situation is that we should move along with the elections. But if, these are unusual times, COVID has affected us in a lot of ways in a lot of different positions. So it really would be for the district to make that decision. And right now would probably be a good time. So John and Andrea, I'm not sure what y'all, if y'all would like to discuss that a little bit, then we could reopen close the election and reopen. If y'all would like to have some content on that.
Russ, may I give some input?
Yes, Patsy, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Of course you can. You're
Absolutely.
the president-elect.
Well, I don't want to jump in, in unnecessary, but of course, the idea situation is to definitely get that person elected. But I will tell you that there are a couple of districts that have addressed this exactly like you have. There's so much going on, especially in this district with, again, I just keep saying focus on sports clubs and
Right.
there's just a lot of unknown in this district. So I'll just mention another district. What Colorado Wyoming did is they petitioned Optimus International, which you've got to do that. All right.
Right. Okay.
And ask for this convention to be reconvened at your first quarter convention
Okay.
for the purpose of the election of the governor.
Okay.
And you can definitely do it because they've done the same thing. So, my last governor is going to be elected on October 15th, so to speak. So I would encourage you, if you have that date, please set that date early. And if you take that avenue, which is perfectly fine to do that, my recommendation is to utilize these next 2 months and truly try to find that individual that will definitely serve in that position and to serve after Brian when they come into that. So it's perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Thank you, Patsy. So as you can see, I mean, it certainly is okay. And I
if I
think
may.
we know there's going to be sounds like there's going to be a couple candidates. That'll give them candidates ample time to do this.
I mean, I have somebody that I would like to nominate today. If we want to go ahead with the election, it's perfectly fine. We have enough people to go ahead with the vote. It was just a thought, with the circumstances right now. It's uncertain for Brian. I'm just thinking, of ahead. But again, I have a nominee. I would like to nominate her right now if we can, but it's up to John, Brian.
Nominate her.
If I may.
It's Sandra Shoemaker.
I would like to have the nomination. I'd like to go forward.
Okay, so
on the base of this, we are in very unknown times. The times are not going to be known. We're in uncharted waters. The last pandemic we had was before any of us were even thought of, let alone born. We can't put our lives on hold. Bottom line is, in President Elcock's words, we need to reimagine how we're going to go forward. And the only way to do that is just grab your bootstraps, pull them up, and let's move on. Each person is going to have to address what is, and that what is going to be changing continuously. So I feel like we just need to continue our business forward. And with that said, I would like to nominate John Dina to follow Brian coming back as a governor, because he and Brian would work together. Being on his team as his secretary, I can tell you, they work hand in hand. They work very well together. Brian is picking up where John has had to let go of some things because of the pandemic. And I think it would be great if John could come back in and serve another year and maybe be able to do some of those many things that he had planned for the district when times are hopefully, and I say hopefully because again, we're in the unknowns, different and changed and ready for him to jump out there and do all what he had planned.
And if I could have the floor, I'm very, very flattered. Angie, I really appreciate the nomination, but I completely agree with Janet. I think John got completely gypped this year. I would love to see him come back with the experience he already has and see what he could do for the district. Let me serve under him and learn from him. And I think that it would help the organization overall simply because I don't have that experience. I've been in the club for 5 years, and of course I've applied myself to the extent that I feel like I could, but I would love to benefit from John having another year and being able to learn under him.
Okay, John, I mean, how do you feel about that, John? I mean, we might as well figure out whether or not you're willing to, extend and go forward. Sandra, that's thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. And I agree with you. It's a lot easier to learn from somebody with experience to move forward. And it's a big job. So, John, So right now we got, now is Brian, Brian Hoadley, is he recommended by the Candidate Qualifications Committee, or he's current?
Brian is the governor-elect. He's coming in October 1st.
Okay. So Brian is coming in, and right now we've got John, Dina. How do you feel, John?
I'm privileged and I'm honored. My thought was if Brian is taking over this year, then maybe let him run the 2 year if he wants. And then if he still need me after that, then I can come back in. I don't want to have Brian finish, then me jump in. I think me and Brian worked very, very well this year. We share a lot of similar ideas. I will be by his side next year or the following year. I'd like to defer that to Brian to see what his thoughts are, because I don't want to put, my feeling is I don't want Brian to go in and go back, right back out, and me go back in, rather than me maybe working with him for that period. So I'd like to hear what Brian has to say.
And this is, I mean, it's a little unique here. This is a little uniquely.
That was my next nominee, was Brian. Because again, I just think what happened to John, this is why I started with my first motion of tabling the elections. It was either, we had no way going back to John taking over this year because Brian was already governor-elect. It would have been ideal if John would have just run with this coming year. That way he would have finished, what he started last year, but we already had a governor-elect in place. Being that we can't go backwards, we've got to move forward. And my next step was, then let's nominate Brian to vote on Brian to be the next governor-elect after he's governor.
Can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Why don't we, if we're going to do that, why don't we wait a little while? We can always have John or Brian. We can have the election.
Barely hear you, Michael.
Hear you, Mike.
Michael, you're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit. Okay, now it's better.
Okay. Well, why don't we wait if we're going to have Brian or John, because they're going to be here in October. Let's see if anybody else decides to run, or we do that between now and then. I think that your year as governor is a great year the first year you do it. You start doing it the second year up front, I'm not sure you're as enthusiastic the second term as you are on the first year. So I think that, John, you've done a fantastic job this year under the circumstances that we have. Brian, I think you're going to do an awesome job next year. But let's see if we can grow that and get maybe somebody else, outside of that, of the realm for the following year. And if we can't, then we review some of these, either Brian doing it twice or John, you coming back and taking it over again.
And on top of what Michael said, John, just an input, you would not be the only governor that did this. We have 3 governors right now that have already been elected that did not feel that they got a fair shot. So therefore, their district says, you know what, we've got our governor-elect. They're gonna, as Adrian says, reimagine what they might do that they couldn't get done. Let the current governor, the governor-elect, take place October 1st. We have 3 coming back. You'll have a team of people you already know that are coming back in 21, 22. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just letting you know that you would not be the only person in the only district that felt that way about their current governor.
Yeah, I mean, what I hear is that, I see a lot of heads shaking and there's a lot of, questions, but I'm just going to give you my 2 cents worth, since this is all irregular, is that I would recommend that you petition international, to have this vote, you come at the first conference. But again, you guys make the call and then we can move on.
Brian, I didn't hear your thought.
I'm fine with whatever the district believes is the best course of action to take. if they want me to do a second year, I'm fine with that. If they want to bring you back, I'm fine with that as well. As you said, you and I, probably since I started in the district, we've been working well together. So, the district is gonna keep moving forward, whether you come back or if I take a second year or if somebody else steps up.
Agree.
So, as I said, whatever the district decides, I'm fine with. When it comes to tabling the elections, we really don't have quarter conferences. We have zone meetings. So we would have to change the way we approach the year now to be able to throw in that first quarter conference,
Well,
to be able to hold the elections.
You could do a special meeting just for election purposes if you wanted to, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, you can work through those details. In order just to move forward, somebody will have to make a motion to, petition international and move forward with the elections coming at the first quarter conference.
Yeah, and since you're not meeting in person, a Zoom meeting would be a perfect special election to have in October.
The election, Brian, anyway, is a special. We adjourn the one meeting and go into the special meeting anyway. So it doesn't matter if it's in conjunction with the meeting or we do it on a standalone anyway.
Okay, understood.
So at this point, does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we table the election to an October special and petition the board to make a special election to be determined in October.
Any second?
I'll second it.
I'll second. Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Raise your hands there real quick. Okay, let me go to the next page. Keep your hands raised. Okay, all those opposed? Okay, looks like all those in favor have it. I only saw one. So the ayes to postpone and petition Optimus International has it. The motion is carried. So with that, I'm going to take back my open. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Michael made the motion to hold the election in October. Jim seconded or Angie did, because everybody was jumping on everybody.
Well, Jim seconded because we both did, but Jim was louder.
I just
somebody was louder than Angie, believe it or not.
Okay, Angie, here's what I need. I just need people to take turns because everybody's jumping on everybody and I'm trying to keep up.
That's what I said. Somebody was louder than Angie this time.
So motion was second, motion was carried. So it appears we're not going to have an election. So what I thought about open elections is now closed. So thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you for this. I guess right now we turn the floor over to Russ for his training. And I'm sorry it took a little bit longer than anticipated to start it.
No, not a problem. I'll just have to go faster. I'm like Patsy and Adrian and everybody. We're moving from conference and convention to convention. But if I have the opportunity to share my screen, if you could give me a screen sharing ability.
Danny, would you please?
I'm going to jump out, guys.
Sorry.
While Russ does his thing, but I just wanted to say thank you. And you guys did it. That was a great decision, I think, moving forward. And when you get ready to hold your meeting in October, I'll be more than happy to jump on that call as well. Thank
Patsy,
you, guys.
Thank you for joining us, Patsy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patsy.
Yeah, thank you, Patsy.
You're welcome.
All right, if y'all could just give me, let's see, host, disabled participant, screen sharing. So if you can give the participants a screen sharing capability.
Yeah, Russ, I'm going to make you host right quick, and that way you can do it.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'm not taking notes during your presentation for the minutes. I'm taking notes for myself, just so that's clearly understood. I'm only taking minutes for the meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, I will. If you need or want, or anybody wants it, I will send the presentation, forward. Okay.
I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
All right. Can everybody see that? Yes. Everybody can hear me. I got to tell you, like Angie said, this is kind of a little bit of a you know, I've been here before. Seems like I've done this. It's a lot smoother. So you guys are doing a great job on this. And it may seem a little strange with all that's going on that we talk a little bit about membership and retention. But you know, this is times that we step out and we got to move forward and do things a little differently than we ever did before. So you know, I'm just going to give you kind of a condition of what is going on this year from a standpoint of where we stand internationally from a membership position. And again, congratulations to you, Guy. John said it's, you know, it ain't over till somebody sings. I don't know what that is, but you know, you guys are doing great. But as an international organization, we're serving, you know, about 116,000 less kids this year. And that's not due to anybody's individual responsibility. It's just kind of the nature of what we've been into. So I wanted you to know that as an organization, we're serving 116,000 less children. So that's kind of the bad news. But the good news is that the opportunity is there for us to continue doing and growing and doing the things we need to be doing as a organization. And I think a lot of what's happening is that sometimes we just got to be a little bit more optimistic because we run into a lot of obstacles. And I got a little video here to kind of help you understand optimism a little bit.
I'm going to try and be more of an optimist. That's never going to work. Yes, it will.
Is that how you do it? You just pretend everything's all hunky-dory?
It's not pretending, it's optimism.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a difference.
Yes, there is. It's not making things up, it's viewing them differently. Like if I were to lose my foot, I'd be thankful I still have my other foot.
What if you lose your other foot?
It's not about the foot specifically. It's how you look at things.
Well, if something gets you in the eyes, then you can't look at anything.
I didn't mean how you actually physically look at things. It's a mindset.
What if you lose your mind?
You know what? If you're going to be like this, there's no point. There's no point in doing this. There's no point in trying. There's no point in anything.
See? Told you it wouldn't work.
So, you know, kind of, that's just a cute little, that's actually a Heineken beer commercial, probably not appropriate that way, but I thought that, you know, that really does explain the things that we get into and our experiences that are out there, you know, in the community. And, you know, let you know that, you know, today is, people need us more than ever before. The children need us more than ever before. And people, you know, our people around us know that they need us. And this is a time, although it doesn't seem like a membership time, it really is, because people are more willing today to step up and help the community and help the children around because of the needs that are out there. And we know that, and we've got to believe that. And in our heart, we know that, you know, what is it going to take to continue to help? And it's going to take us, you know, to step out of our comfort zone. And believe me, I'm like you guys, we are in an unusual situation, and it's tough to get out, and it's tough to call people, and it's tough to do a lot of things. But we have to do that for the sake of the children and the communities. We've got to do that. And I always talk about just asking. And I found through my experience, and I've added 27 people myself. So I've added, you know, a few, and I've helped build a few clubs. And you know, it's been pretty exciting. And I know the obstacles that you run into, but the thing I learned some time ago is that, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of just asking. And sometimes it's just a matter of just asking a bunch of times and being persistent at it. So I know that's what I say, that's all you got to do, but you'd be surprised how important it is just at the end of what your elevator speech is to ask. And then the other way is to demonstrate. So you can demonstrate everything that we do. I see somebody's trying to get in here, so I'm going to admit them to the room here. So you got to demonstrate through positive actions, and people will want to join. Adrian, President Adrian's direction was, if you perform and you show and you do, people will come to us and they will join. Now, it's been a little bumpy this year for a lot of different reasons, but we do know that it's up to us and each one of us to help, you know, the governor, and to help our districts, and to help our children, you know, by asking people to join. An old sales thing says, you know, your customer doesn't care how much you know until you know how much you care. And that's is so true for us. And, you know, I like to remember that as we move along. So, you know, I'm going to do a little sales training here, you know, to talk about something that you don't do. And we talk about all the things that you have to do and want to do so much. I'm going to talk about some things that you don't want to do, right? So, you know, first up, we talk about, you know, getting new members and sharing our optimism and our optimist creed. You know, we really don't want to sell optimism, right? And you got to be looking at me, and I see some looking at me going, what do you mean you don't sell? Because how do we get it if we ask and we don't sell? But what we do is we sell what optimism can do, right? I think one of the obstacles we have is that we forget that selling optimism is different than presenting and demonstrating what optimism. So optimism can, you know, what can it do? What does it do for you? How does it make you feel? And if you share that with a prospective member, you let them know that I wake up every morning going, man, I hope we can do something great today, or what child's program I'm going to work with. So there's so much that we can do. But people don't buy what you sell. People buy what it can do for them. And that's that feelings point that I want to talk about. Often we forget that this is a feeling organization that we have, and we believe that what we do makes a difference, and it does. And it makes a difference. You know, I say I'm selfish because it makes me feel good, and I enjoy doing what I do because of that. And then, you know, you talk about in a sales criteria, you know, people buy benefits, not features. And you got to be wondering, what is it that I mean by that, right? So a benefit of optimism is that it makes me feel good. A benefit of optimism is that it makes children smarter. A benefit of optimism is that it saves children's lives, right? So to give you an example of what benefits and features, I would take a 12-speed bicycle. I know by now they're probably 20-speed bicycles. I don't know. But if you have two different people selling 20-speed bicycles, and one just has it up in the window and it's got a great price on it, and another one's got one in the window and it's got a great price on it, and then under it, it's got, this is all the things that this bicycle can do for you, right? It's same price, but if this bicycle can make you pedal faster, you can go up hills easier, you can go down hills faster, you have better control. All of those things are benefits and not features. So that's the type of thing that we have to look at, is the benefits of optimism. And a lot of times we just need to rehash and re-acknowledge to ourselves that we've got to be talking and thinking about how feelings are. And if you apply feelings to our interactions, things are going to work better. So we don't sell, you know, we don't use facts to sell. We don't say, well, we got the oratorical, we got the essay, we got the respect for law. That doesn't tell you a lot. And if you're talking to a person and you're covering all those things, it's certainly telling them what we do, but it's not touching their hearts, right? And I got many experiences that I've been through with the children that has made a difference in my life every day as I move forward. So we speak to emotions. We talk about emotions. We talk about personal endeavors that we've done that all makes a difference. So we don't want to use facts to sell. We want to use emotions and invite people to programs and those types of things. So I mean, that's in a nutshell, that's a lot of what it is we need to do. We just need to tie our emotions and our feelings into our observations that we use. So use benefits to your advantage by selling the dream and giving people hope and showing how optimists and others benefit from optimism through those stories, and help imagine what their life would be if they were an optimist. Now, you hear this a lot, but I'm hoping that, you know, it just resonates a little closer to home when you think about when you do something for a child and it makes you tear up, or it makes you happy. And you remember that as you're talking about optimism to your friends, to your family. And you'll see that, you know, your life will change. I mean, you will be a better optimist, and then you will be a better person and be able to, let me admit somebody here. Okay. So what we do is, you know, through this just ask strategy, that if you've been with the Optimist organization a long time, they used to have a just ask button. And it's all intent was to remind you that all we need to do really is ask. And through asking and learning how to ask, It increases our skills. It helps us gain self-confidence, because you can ask 10 people to join and 10 people will say no. But it's that one more that you ask that joins that makes all the difference. And it's that one more person that you ask that joins that changes your life and makes you feel better. Now, it's tough. It's tough to do it. And self-confidence is a great thing. But when you get a few no's, you know, you kind of get used to not going forward. But, you know, we have to be perseverant in what we do. And you have to celebrate the success in sponsoring and mentoring new members. We have to show our members that we care. We have to enjoy what we do. We have to have a good time at what we're doing. And all of this is important when you talk about it. That today, people don't join just to go to meetings. People join to give back to the community. People join to give back and help children. You know, people join to truly save children's lives. And I believe that as much as I believe anything in the world. And so, I mean, we're not really talking about, you know, a membership drive, but we're talking about a movement. And sometimes I'm a little scared to say a movement in these times, but it's a movement to serve, you know, more youth. And, you know, we want to have now events, and everything today is a now event, right? Every interaction that you have with somebody ought to be talking a little bit about optimism and how you feel and what you do and how it makes how it benefits the children and benefits the community, right? So not asking people, but to join in serving our community is really a way to get it done. So you ask, what's my role? What is my role as an optimist? We asking you to accept the challenge, practice your elevator speech, and you'll have classes on that as we move forward throughout the year. And that's that 1-minute speech when you got just a few seconds to grab somebody and get them to understand that what we do makes a difference. And, you know, one of the best ways to advertise for optimists is wear your optimist stuff. I wear a pin quite often, you know, just pins and badges and you know, shirts and everything that says optimist. And you would be surprised how many people ask you what that's all about and what's that pin. So, you know, you just be ready for that ask. Think about emotions, bring that together. And, you know, where do you look for members at, right? I mean, we all know this. We've seen it before. Everywhere, every interaction becomes, from my perspective, a now event. And it's everywhere. Fundraisers, meetings, school gatherings, restaurants, stores. Put banners up, put posters up. Always, if you have a meeting, have a membership table and somebody staffing it. And then if you're that person working it, get out from behind that table and engage people, because people like openly engaging people and they have fun with it. So, you know, that's just everywhere. Everywhere is an opportunity for us. Everything allows us to help the children. It helps us build our clubs. And that's what makes us the great workforce and charitable organization that we have. So as I wind up what we're doing and what I'm talking about, you know, you want a prospective member to join. And that's really what it's all about. Join so that it makes your life easier, right? We've got a lot of programs that a lot of people do consistently and all the time, right? And in the scheme of things, you go, oh my gosh, I got to do that oratorical again. It is so big and it's so cumbersome, but it does so much good. But having a new member helps you share that workload. So remember, sharing the workload is great. So you got to see it. You got to believe it. You got to feel it. You know, I say practice your ask, but you got to remember, you got to ask, right? I mean, ask yourself after every interaction, did you focus on positive energy when you brought it to them? Were you smiling? Were you happy? Did you show emotional support? Did you laugh? I mean, was it a good time? Was that experience good time? And if it was, you're really going to get a much better result on asking and getting members to come in. So you got to be excited. So the more, the better, the more you feel, the more yeses you're going to get. And you know, don't be discouraged. And like I say, I've asked 100 people to get my 27, but I have gotten that 25 and they're still active today. So remember, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're always right. And Henry Ford said that. And with that, I'll take a few questions. I run on and I go fast because when I get into that time crunch, it's pretty exciting stuff. But you know, it's been a pleasure being your vice president this year. It's wonderful to see you guys again. And we got some promotions that's coming up that pretty soon that you're going to be hearing about. I'm sure the governor and your membership chair will find. I'm going to be your international membership chair for this next year. So you're going to be able to see more of me whether you want to or not. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but you'll be able to see more of me. I'll be out there helping you. International president, incoming president, Mark Weinsoff is committed to us to get and help and work together, doing things a little differently. And you may have heard that before, but I believe that. I think we're going to do things differently. Keep membership in your mind. Keep new club limit in your mind. You guys are great at what you're doing. Get up to that #1 position. Any questions? And I'll stop sharing this screen, but I will send it. I'll send it to
Sandra had her hand up.
I have a question. During the international convention, President Elcock spoke about like having tiers of membership with a reduced price. Do you have any more information on that? Because we have something we call Friend of Optimists, that we have a lot of them, but they haven't fully committed, but I think we could get a lot of people in with that.
Yes, I mean, we still have the Friend of Optimist program that's going. There's also, if you're familiar with the 30 under 30 and the teacher's role, there's, you know, $30 discount. A lot of those are still in place, and incoming President Mark is going to have some new introductions. Optimist International in a whole is coming up with what they call a member at large, which has not been you know, announced yet in detail, but that's going to be kind of a membership that's more a virtual type of a membership for the organization. So there's going to be a lot of new programs. We are, you know, increasing the drive and focus back on membership and new club building this year. So you'll see an extended push on that. So there are some new programs that are coming. We all introduced in the next month or two. So there are things that are coming that I think you're going to be excited about. And, you know, don't forget that as a district, your local membership team, you know, can come up with some interesting and creative ways to bring new members in. My club itself, you know, what we do every now and then is we actually, you know, pick up the dues for, you know, special guests, the mayor, the sheriff, and some other organizations. So we actually pick up some rates. So there are some discounted membership issues that are, or programs that are in the future. Sorry, that's a long answer. Yes. Any other question? Oh, come on. One more question.
Teachers still have the reduced price, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we still have the 30 under 30?
Yes.
Okay.
And you still have the college as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, listen, we still have all.
So all the programs we had are still in place today, and we expect at this point we expect them to continue and to see some new and exciting programs as we come into the new year.
And Russell, for the teachers program, that is only for the first year that the teacher is in the club.
That's correct. And you know, when we tell them,
is there any possibility of movement on that to engaging our teachers, especially for a club like ours in North Bay Village, where we don't have a lot of parents, having the teachers in the club really help us with knowing, you know, having that line to our elementary school here locally. But, you know, and our members do sponsor teachers to keep them in there. But it has always seemed kind of counterproductive to only let them have it for 1 year, because the teachers, obviously their salaries are not, you know, $100 is a lot for them. Is there ever going to be any movement on that to change that?
I will tell you that we are talking and discussing that because, you know, of course, I personally feel the same way as does my club. And that's why we're bringing some of the teachers back into the fold by covering their dues themselves. Now, a lot of you know, regions and a lot of districts and a lot of clubs can't afford that. But it is in discussion right now, as well as first responders, nurses, firemen, policemen. There is a program that's in the works for that to help. So I will carry that message forward because I agree 100%. I've dealt with a lot of teachers over my journey with optimism, and I know that they put a lot of their own money out to make things happen in their classrooms. And our club is done things like, you know, buy 40 electric pencil sharpeners for them, and they've been doing that on their own. So we are empathetic to those teachers and the first responders and the nurses, and that, you know, sometimes it's just not, they don't make a lot of money. You know, if we can help, we will in everywhere we can. And you as the clubs do a great job at that. But I will make sure I charter that message back to International to discuss it further and see what we can come up with.
I too would appreciate that, because I have some teachers that are very active with the Optimist Club of Naples, which is my home club. And I even thought about seeing if our club could step up and bring them in. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's wait. It's only $30. Let them do that. And then I looked into it further, and it's like, okay, well, that's only the first year. And I happen to know, doing long-term assignments in the teaching field, that a teacher spends a good bit of her salary right back into her students in her classroom. So they're already giving and giving and giving. I just really think it should be something that we could carry forward, that they could have that $30 continue.
Right. And I will, I'll reiterate that back to International. And I saw Patrick Prendergast on there, your incoming vice president, and I hope you give him a second to just make a few comments. But it's a message worth saying and worth carrying forward. So I will do that. And we appreciate that. I appreciate that observation.
Russ, can you go ahead and make me host again?
I think one way we can maybe help that a little bit is by subsidizing those fees through some kind of sponsorship or so. Because I agree with you, Sandra, we have so many people that do a lot of volunteer work for us. We cannot do our program without them, but some of those fees may be hindering them becoming members. And we definitely don't want to lose them. It's like catch-22. They don't have the money to pay it, but we need them to do the program. So we're going to try to either have International find or define another way of supporting them, or us as a club trying to figure out how we can subsidize some of those fees through you know, sponsorship and things like that.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
If I may?
Yes, please, Patrick.
Thanks for the opportunity to speak as well. But I agree with you, John. I'm reflecting on the proposal, and I think what we have to do is bear in mind that this is a membership incentive, and so any extension of that, you may also have to consider that it's more on the responsibility of the clubs or the district to find a way to extend that incentive. But certainly it is something, Russ, you're right, it's being brought up all around the place, especially in relation to providing new incentives to first responders. And I'm really very happy to hear that you're already championing that cause. So there are two levels. One, we need to push forward for this kind of incentives to be extended to others, but we also need to bear in mind that there are membership incentives, and therefore any kind of extension, we may want to encourage the clubs to seek to work through how they actually provide those incentives at the club level.
Thank you, Patrick. We appreciate that. I guess that's a vice president-elect. Doesn't that feel good?
And South Florida has been really wonderful in allowing me to make the transition, Russ. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Any other questions? I apologize, but believe as I mentioned earlier, I'm toggling between 3 different conditions here today. So thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. You know, the children are the big winners of everything that we do, and let's keep doing what we're doing. The opportunities open up. People need us more now than ever, and we love you guys and we appreciate you. So thank you for this opportunity to be with you. And John, John, I gave the host responsibilities back to you because I didn't want to leave here and then everything shut off.
Thank you for joining. I was hoping you'll continue with the meeting.
Thank you, Russ, for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun this time, but it was certainly interesting the last time. So thank you again.
We didn't have to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning practicing.
That's right. We did what it took, and that's what optimists are good at. So thank y'all so very much. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate that.
Bye-bye.
I'll turn the floor over right now to Danny for our next, I guess, training. Danny, all yours.
Hey, good morning, folks. If you'd like, we can do like about a 5-minute bio break and come back. What do you think? About 11?
I agree. That's perfect. That's perfect. That puts us on time. Yes, thank you. Just about.
Okay. Let's everybody come back at 11:05, and I'll start off with my presentation.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
By the way, we are at $385 on the auction, and I'm going to go through the items here. The $25 Publix gift card has been sold. The Outback Steakhouse gift cards, they both have bids. I think everything has bids. But if you can go to the auction site, we have some picture frames with Optimus creeds in them. Excuse me. We have a 4x6 light and dark frame. We have a 5x7 light and dark and an 8x10 light and dark. Those are all available for bid, or you can buy them now, however you'd like. We have gift cards that you can use at any of these restaurants: Olive Garden, Longhorn, Cheddar's, Yard House, Bahama Breeze, and Seasons 52. We have 2 Total Wine gift cards for $75 each that apparently are very popular. A gift card to Walmart, and 2 gift cards to Amazon, 2 $50 gift cards to Amazon. So please bid early and often. The auction will stay up until tomorrow at 4 p.m. The website, I put it on there, but I'll put it into the chat again. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Send this to everyone. And it's in the chat. You go to that website, you register an account, and then you're able to bid on an item. You should get an email stating that your bid is successful as far as that it's been registered. And you'll also get a follow-up email if somebody outbids you, which I'm sure the Total Wine one, that'll get a lot of hits. Got to reload after last night. So that was good. That was good stuff from Russ. I always enjoy listening to him. He gets me motivated. It's a tough to follow, but I'll try my best, folks. So we'll give about 4 more minutes and we'll start again.
I'm good. No. I'm actually just, I'm attending I'm in a convention right now.
Sandra, you're not muted and we can hear everything you're saying, just to let you know.
All right, folks. I have 11:06 a.m. So I give you an extra minute to wash your hands for 20 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And I lost my controls. Okay, can everybody see that screen? I hope so.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. All right, morning, folks. Again, my name is Danny DeVerona, and I am the Internet and Internet Safety and Web Master for the district, the South Florida District, and also the current president of the Optimist Club of Miami Lakes. I'd like to welcome you this morning to our discussion about social media. I'm going to be doing a little bit of talk about the different social media websites that are available for use. And I'm also going to be talking about websites, talking about the guidelines that OI wants us to use on our websites and our social media pages. Again, if anybody has any need for help on websites, social media, or anything like that, you can always reach out to me. I'll provide my email address, and I'll help you as best as I can. All right. So let's go ahead and move along here. As far as social media, the main sites that we use in social media: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So OI, we use social media to connect with optimists around the world, to share our mission of helping out the children. For social media, it's best that you develop a plan for what you want to do. You need to focus on who your audience is going to be, how you're going to approach your audience. Have a discussion with folks in your clubs, and also reach out to the younger members. And even if they're not younger members, maybe younger members of your family or friends or people in your workforce. The younger folks, they're really quite adept at social media. I know we had Jessica as our social media chair, and she was fantastic at working the Instagram and the Twitter for both our club and the district. And it's big shoes to fill to try to replace that. But she was very active on it. She was always taking pictures, always posting, and it doesn't have to be a picture of a certain club activity or anything like that. It's anything that inspirational message that might, a member might click on it and get inspired for the day on that and help them get through their day. Every day it seems like there's always some type of international day. Like I think this week it was International Left-Handed Person's Day. Just put something, a quick little funny blurb on your social media sites about that. If you have a meeting or anything like that, you want to get if you're able to get a screen grab or a short clip of a meeting, put it on there. If your club has a Gmail account, you automatically have a YouTube account associated with it. You just need to go in and create your channel, and on that channel you can upload different videos. You can even record yourself speaking to the camera about your club and help promote your club like that. With the pandemic and the things with baseball, I put out a post to the parents letting them know that what our plans were for the season, because I would send texts to mass text to everybody. Some people read them, some don't. But if you put it out there on YouTube and you get them that link, it's something real quick that on the phone, you click on that link and automatically the YouTube video is there and they can see it and they can react to it. And it's been very successful. So we'll talk about the couple different items here. So Facebook, as everybody knows, huge platform, 2.5 billion users, super easy to create your site. You can even create it from your personal web Facebook account. Go in there and create your club's website and then share the URL that's created when you do that club. Share it via email to your friends and family and your members and have them push that out there. Any club projects that you have coming up, share that as well. Any meetings that we have, share those. You can like different clubs and they can like you back, and that way you have interaction with the different clubs. Really easy and quick to do. This, just to show you, this is, oops, wait. Maybe if I went this way, now you can see what I'm going through. I apologize. Again, I'm the IT person. So It'd be great if I knew how to work this thing. Okay, so this is a picture of our Facebook, of our club's Facebook page. Again, like I talked about, OI is really big on branding. They've spent countless hours and money to develop the OI brand with the roundel, the new roundel with the new colors. Every club, and we'll go through that shortly, every club and every district has their own roundels. These are the roundels, by the way, the round logos, and different items that OI strongly recommends you use. If you could put that on each one of your pages, your web page, your Facebook page, Twitter, things like that, that really pushes the brand. That way it's instantly recognizable. In the PowerPoint presentations that you do, put your club logo or your district logo in there as well. Okay, put it in there, get that out there. Fill out all the information that you can on your Facebook page. That way people can get a hold of you. Okay, it has links to your website and all things like that. Okay, we'll move on. Twitter. Again, Twitter micro blogging website. Now it's 280 characters, so you can put in quite a bit of information. You can link pictures, you can link videos, you can like tweets, retweet. That's one of the things that's super easy to do is you follow different clubs, follow OI, follow whatever club in your district and other districts, and if they come up with something, you know, cool, amusing, cute, informational, retweet it with a comment, things like that. So all those posts, people, whenever they go on their Twitter and they see that you're updating things like that. Websites are more static. You don't have to update them as much as social media sites. Social media sites, you have to keep your followers engaged at least 4 times a week, update them. If you can do them more often than that, fantastic. And again, get younger volunteers to help you with that. You know, they're always on their phones and they're always updating their own. They can switch over to your account and update it as well. Just have to have somebody that's responsible and trustworthy that you can use to manage your account. Again, this is club or district business only. Don't put anything that may be offensive to anybody. You don't want that to come back to you. Don't put anything out there that would cause you embarrassment or your club embarrassment. Just put, you know, nice uplifting things, stories about your club. Fantastic, easy stuff to do. All right, gain followers. Keep looking for people to follow, different clubs to follow, and things like that, and they'll follow you again as well. Okay, so this is a quick look at our South Florida District of Optimist International Twitter account. And what this, you can see here, we have the roundel, we have the Being Optimist Volunteer banner, so people can instantly see who we are, what we're about. Again, go out there and keep on following people. And let me see if I can bring up a quick, hopefully. Let me see if I can share this screen here. Okay, can you everybody see the screen? Yes? Okay, so this is our district website. It's redesigned. I try to make it look as best as possible for OI standards. We have our roundel, we have our lead and our mission statement on there as well. People can scroll down and they can see galleries, you know, just different pictures of our group, right? This is you know, our district board meetings, you know, just little pictures like that. Just put them up there. There's Brian there in the governor's meeting, I think. Anything that will get people, you know, motivated and see that what we're about. The Stillsville Conference, can't wait to go back there. But all things like that. Here we have the listing of the officers in our club, right? So people can put a face with the name, right? Optimist International, what we're about, the different things, and all these links that you can click on, and it'll take you to the OI website so people can get more information. All right, here we have the clubs as far as like an organizational chart, if you want to call it that. It has everybody here, and this is, again, you create this once and you don't have to update it again until next elections. And then here you have all your different clubs located under each zone. What I did here is I put each club that has its own website and I hyperlinked it to it. So anybody can go in and click and take a look, and you can even get ideas on what you want to do for your website. So it's really easy. We use GoDaddy in our district. Very easy website to set up. They even give you help if you need. And if you're totally unable to be creative about it, you can even pay, and they will help create that site for you. You just provide them some of the content and they'll help you for it. But again, it's not terribly difficult. Again, you can reach out to me for that. Contact page, upcoming events. You can actually synchronize this with your district Gmail account. Your district Gmail account or your club Gmail account has a calendar feature that you can put your meetings into, and they'll populate automatically onto this page. Okay, so here we have, for us today, we have our schedule. And then also we have the event details for the OI convention for next year in Atlanta. Right, so we have the video here for the convention. We have here you can actually click here and be taken to the hotel's booking site with the group code for next year's convention. Right, and then the agendas and things like that that you can put. Different forms you can put on your website. Again, this is the website is a place for folks to get information reliably. They can go there and say, okay, I want to get a member invitation, be a part of a Friends of Optimists, any type of documentation that you feel that your club needs. And then gallery here, if you want to put any items in here for to people to see pictures of what's going on in your club, right? Great way to get people to look and see what's going on in your clubs. Okay. Again, I was talking about before the YouTube video. Here's the South Florida District's YouTube page. Has all the videos from the conference that we had earlier this summer. All these videos, you can click on them, you can view them as many times as you like. We also have the ability to download, with each Gmail account, you get a Google Drive account where you can put documentation there as well. Okay. Just a quick show you what a couple of different sites we have here. Our Miami Lakes Optimist Twitter page. Our Instagram page. Again, Instagram, sharing those pictures, getting that news out there, and following people. I mean, Jessica did such a great job. We have over 1,200 followers. Every day, they click on our site and they can see what's going on with us. And anytime somebody clicks and they want to follow, I take a look, make sure that it's, something decent, and follow them. And get the word out there. That way people can see. Again, just something quick. Look, I mean, just a smiley face. Anything about your sports clubs, anything about any occasions, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day. Just put something out there that shows that you're an active account. That way people keep on coming back. Right? This is our club website. Again, the same kind of format, just a different alignment as the club website. Here we talk about, what is an Optimist club, have the creed in there, have our org chart, our club org chart. And for those clubs who are primarily sports clubs, this is a great way to get your club out into your community. A good landing spot, right? So they come to your website, your club website, and they can say, okay, this is what the Optimist Club of Miami Lakes is about, their mission statement. Here's their social media buttons on the bottom. Oh, wait, they have sports. So here I can click on sports and it shows me all the different sports that I have. So that's a great launching pad for them. So they can say, okay, I want to see what's going on with Optimist Baseball. They click on that and it's going to link to our baseball site. Again, the Optimist logo on your website. Let people know who you are. You're not just a sports club. You're more for the community than just sports, okay? But let them know that. I've seen a couple of clubs that it's all sports all the time, and obviously sports is great, but that's one of the things is you want to let them know that we can offer other things as well. You know, oratorical, essay, photography contest that that was launched this year, things like that. And then again, you just go in there, and then from there you can have them click on different links that takes them to OI, right? So as far as the branding, if you go onto OI's website under member resources here in district, under logos, under Optimist logos, you'll see here on the left, district and club rebranding. You click on that site and eventually it takes you to your page where the South Florida district is number 61. And then you click on whatever type of item you want, a JPEG, a PNG, or an EPS file. And then you scroll down farther and you can find your clubs in here. It takes a little while to populate. I apologize. But eventually, if you keep scrolling and scrolling, why do we have to be 60 or 61? Why couldn't we be like 3? Love the speed of this website. I apologize, folks. There we go. So we click on there, and then on the right side, you'll see all the clubs populate in there. You click there, you open it up, and it'll show you whatever clubs I opened up here, and you can see eventually North Bay Village popped up, right? You can save that and you can use that on all your social media sites. Okay, let me go back to this other site, back to our presentation, and give me just a moment because I lost it. Bear with me, folks. Okay, I think we're back. Again, Instagram, a photo and video sharing site. Have all your members send you pics. Those baseball, football, flag, basketball games, have the parents send you pics and post them up there. Obviously, if they send you the pic, that's implied permission that they want you to post it. And in the registrations that you do for your sports, you should have a spot in there where you give you're asking for their consent to use any pictures garnered during the sporting events to be used on websites. Okay. This is our Instagram account for Optimist Club of Miami Lakes, and things like that. So we'll go to websites right quick. So websites are the paid ones, right? The Instagram, Twitter, the Facebook, those are free websites. Those are free social media pages. The websites are the ones that you have to pay for. Not much. I think we pay for our domain name. I think we pay around $30, and the annual for the website is like $120. And that's, I mean, what you can do with that is priceless. Get your information out there. Your members have a place where they can easily get to any forums, and again, jumping points to different clubs, sports events that you may have. You're able to explain everything about Optimist International, promote your club, your officers, your board members. When you have your first elections, take pictures of your members, of your officers, and put them on there. That way people can put a face with the name. So when they're walking through the park, they can see you and say, hey, I recognize you from the website. Have your documents there easy to download. Any new member documentations, things like that. You can put up there, easily downloadable. Again, we use GoDaddy here in our club, in our district, just ease of use, but there's other ones as well. Wix is another website, a web hosting company that's simple to use as well. Bluehost. There's many. My recommendation, because of ease of use, GoDaddy is very simple to use. Lastly, for a domain name, try to keep it as short as possible. I know some of us have longer names like Miami Lakes Optimist Club, Optimist Club of Miami Lakes. So what I did is I created I bought the domain ocml.org. So that's all you have to put in, something quick and easy, and then I forward it to the longer name website, because maybe a shorter name website isn't available to you. And try to make sure that it's a .org, as we're a nonprofit organization. That'll be very helpful. You can go on there and put in a domain search and see if it's available. And maybe it's not available, but they'll give you suggestions. Hey, SFDOI is not available. How about SF-DOI? Things like that. Just something quick and easy that you can get to. And again, forward it to your larger websites, and then from there, have links to your sports websites. Okay, again, branding. So here are a couple different options that OI has already created for us, right? We have the round logo, and then you have the stacked and the longer version of the logos. That all these are available to download. If you have any difficulty finding them, I can put or I will put the shortcut to the page on the district website. In case you don't know, the district website, sfldoi.org. Quick and clean and easy to get to. Right? And from there, again, you can go to all the different clubs. Very easy, one-stop shop. Right? So on our website, a couple different items. We have our branding up on top. We have our banner that OI recommends, again, to put something talking about the kids, a mission statement. I just copied the one from OI, assist in development of youth through quality sports and enrichment programs. Quick and simple, you can do the same. And then down on the bottom, you can put your social media websites, the links to that. People click on that and it gets taken directly to those websites. And then just give them items up on top for them to click on. Very easy to do. All right. Again, social media is just a buzzword unless you come up with a plan. So have a small committee, if you like, get a couple of people together, discuss, okay, what are we doing? What are we aiming for as far as what we want to do with social media? And I cannot stress enough, get with the younger folks in your club, some of your players maybe that's in your sporting events, and ask for their input, because it's their club too. All right. And now with that, I will open this up to any questions that anybody may have.
Danny, are you saying I'm too old now to be involved with social media?
No, John, I would never, ever broach that subject with you. But it's just a fact of life, is that we have so much going on in our world that the younger generation may not, the ones that are, living at home and things like that, have little more time to spend online. They have quicker ideas and they're more versed in it.
I think I want to add to what you're saying. You have the younger generation, you have the middle generation, and you have the older generation. And I guess for us to be successful, we have to reach to all. And each one of them is different. And when we talked earlier about text, yes, some people may like text, some people may like email, some people may like it, Twitter. So we gotta accommodate everybody, otherwise our message is not being delivered to all. And we all are a witness to that. I mean, Angie said earlier, some of the information that we have on the website is not correct, and I know that for sure, at least OI. And you try to call someone, the number may not be right. Sometimes you email someone, the number may not be right. So really we have to try to cultivate all options that we have to reach to everyone that we can via the way they choose to. Obviously, we can't dictate to them which way they need to listen to us. We need to figure out how we can deliver the message to them the way they want to hear it.
Right. And folks, I will make this presentation, I will make the logos that I spoke about, and I will also make the recording of this fourth quarter convention available for everyone to view as soon as later on today. So
Thank you, Danny.
I'll put it out there, and if you go to the SFDOI under downloads, you'll be able to find all that information later on today.
Thank you, Danny. Is Michael Goldman still available? I see his name.
Yes, I am.
John,
yeah, Michael. Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
No, I was going to say Mr. Prendergast had his hand up.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just actually wanted to underscore something you just said. I made a note of it while Danny was speaking. Excellent presentation. I think it's important for us to recognize that the social media world, is really wide and diverse, and it gives us an opportunity to reach almost anybody in a very targeted way. I think though that we must always bear in mind that whether we're using the platforms for information dissemination or for, strictly speaking, communication, we need to be consistent in our branding and our message.
Yes. Excellent.
A quick one though, Danny, did you say that that SFL is 61?
We are.
Yeah, as in your district number.
Yes.
Okay, just to be sure, because I know that you're doing very well. There are 3 districts from this region on the leaderboard of Optimist International, and South Florida is at number 3.
Look at that. Outstanding job.
Sandra?
Do we have a hashtag for the district convention for social media?
We do. I think someone created that one for us. I'm almost sure. Danny, can you figure out from Jessica what it is, unless you have it? I think I talked to her about that at last convention, and I thought it was created back then in August, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe you can check with her.
I'll look it up and I'll let you know.
Unless you have it. I want to go back a little bit. We talked about golf earlier, but Michael wasn't with us at the time, and I'd like to give him maybe a couple minutes just to talk a little bit about golf and the hard work that he does and raising the funds and making sure we can run that program without even needing any money out of the district. And that's a big accomplishment for him and his team. Michael?
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say that this has been a fantastic event that you all put on. I was the chair of the International Virtual Convention. I know kind of all the work that goes into these things. And the turnout you got today, I think we have about 40% of our clubs represented, which if you look at that, I was just kind of figuring out where some of the people that I know, what clubs they're from, trying to figure out who's all here. It's an impressive that you got this many people here to join us virtually, and that we're reaching out to our clubs. So being a past governor of our district, it definitely hats off to you, John, and your team. It's been a fantastic day. Russ Thomas is fantastic. Patrick's fantastic from Optimist International. You had Adrian and Patsy here. So I don't know that we would have had that kind of an impact had we done this in person. So it's definitely an interesting deal to bring in some of the leaders from the organization as well. So hats off to you guys and your team, and on a great convention so far. I know you guys got some stuff tomorrow as well. So, but I will kind of get into junior golf a little bit. Our junior golf program is a self-sustaining program within the district. We have made a working relationship with PGA National over the last probably 10 years, where they actually give us their golf course, which is one of the top probably 25 golf courses in the United States to play our qualifier on. It used to be the home of the tournament of the OIJGC. That's now at Doral, but we still have that great work relationship with PGA National, and they give us they give us the course. So we're able to raise a lot of money through the either the registration fee that the kids pay to come into the tournament, or we do get sponsorships throughout the year as well to cover a lot of the stuff that we give out. Every kid that signs up for the tournament gets at least 2 gifts when they join. We already bought some umbrellas for next year. We bought some tumblers as well to give the kids as like giveaways. We get trophies. There's there's all kinds. We have drinks and stuff on the course. So it is a fully self-sustaining program. And then after the tournament's over, we actually pay our boy and girl 16 and 18-year-old winner to go to the tournament. And then depending on how much money we raise throughout the year, we either pay the full boat for every kid that actually qualifies, or we pay at least a portion of their qualification fees and tournament fees for them, right to Optimist International. So the money that we raise goes right in from the kids that actually play, goes right back to the kids in the program. And I don't think we've gotten anything from the district in a while as far as that goes. So we're able to be pretty self-sustaining. I think we have about $1,000 left over from last year because we did buy some stuff for this year's tournament that we were unable to use because the tournament was canceled. So we'll use that stuff for next year. So our budget should look pretty good going into 2020 and 2021 as far as that goes. We do have a Tournament of Champions coming up. So we did pay some entry fees for some of our kids that got exemptions into that tournament. That tournament will be in November, and it'll be at PGA National. So we're trying to figure out if there's any more of our kids that are actually going to go and play in that tournament. If they are, we might actually send some more money to help them defer some of the tournament fees as well. So, but that's kind of a gist. Any club can run a qualifier if you guys would like. It's kids aged from 10 all the way to 18. We do allow kids that are younger to play up in division. So if you have 8-year-olds or 9-year-olds that want to play golf, they can definitely get involved, and they would have to play in the 10-year-old division, either boy or girl. And as a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, we actually had a 9-year-old win the tournament. So kids can actually play up with some of the kids, especially if they're very, golf is very competitive. So a lot of these kids like to play up with older kids. So, other than that, I can take some questions if you guys have any. We definitely would like to get as many kids as possible in our qualifier next year. It's usually the Sunday after school lets out in Miami-Dade and Broward County, just to give you guys a heads up. I don't know what that date is next year, but it'll be sometime usually in June. It's usually that first or second Sunday in June when we run our qualifier up at PGA National. So we haven't set the date for that yet, just due to all the craziness that's going on. But hopefully in the next few months, we'll be able to set the date and get the timing out, get it on the website, and see if we can get as many kids as possible to try to qualify for next summer's OIJGC tournament, which is actually in our own backyard in Miami. So I see that Janet has her hand up.
Yes. What is the position of parents? I have 2 parents that are on the course and right there with their kids every time they golf. The kids are great little golfers. They don't need their parents there. What is your policy on that so that I can advise and?
Are you talking about during COVID or are you talking about normal?
Oh, I'm talking about just any time. These parents are like saturate their children and they need to be away.
Yeah, no, we don't allow the parents to get involved. So there's no caddying or kind of in that kind of sense of the image. So there's no caddy. The kids have to play on their own. They can talk to their parents. The parents can give them water. They can give them like fruit. They can give them a sandwich, whatever they need to do. But no helping on the golf course, like, club selection, or, distance, anything like that. The kids have to play. Yeah, the kids have to play on their own and have to do all of their own scoring, everything. The parents can't help with that either. Most of the time we play them in threesomes or foursomes. So other kids will take the score and they'll have to work out the scoring themselves. A lot of times that's where parents like to get involved and try to tell the kid what they actually shot. They have no being on the golf course as far as that goes. It's going to be held out between the kids playing, and they'll figure out the scoring situation. If there's a problem, we can try to figure that out in scoring later on after the round's over. But even then, the parents don't get involved in the scoring part. It has to come from the players.
When I ran a youth golf tournament, what I did is I said the parents had to be at least half a hole away from their children at all times. Do you have a rule like that?
We don't. The parents can stand. We try to get them not to communicate with each other. Most of the parents out there understand their kids play junior golf tournaments all the time. We very rarely do we have a problem with parents getting involved. Every now and then, if we do, then we talk to them and ask them, please stop, as long as they're not helping the kids. But if they, we have had problems with parents in the past where they get in, they start yelling at their kids or whatever, and those parents have been escorted off the golf course.
Okay.
That's very few and far between now. Most of the time, this is like junior golf is like a circuit. These kids play together most of the time. A lot of them play together over and over. The parents know each other, the kids know each other, and 9 times out of 10 or 99 out of 100 times, the parents know the rules and kind of adjust and make sure that they're not a problem. During COVID, they will be like a half. There's strict social social distancing rules, and there will be strict social distancing rules even for the players at the Tournament of Champions in November up at PGA National. So that'll be and if you go on Optimus International's website and you go to junior golf, it'll explain all of the social distancing rules that we have out there as well. So to try to follow to run these events. All right. Any other questions?
Mike.
Yes.
Mike. When you get a chance, offline after this, if you can provide me some of the links or documentation, that way I can post that on the district website. That way we can get the information out there as well.
Yeah, maybe we can do. I don't know if we have a link on the website from the OIJGC link from Optimus International. That might be good to have as well, because everything we have will filter through the OI website. So it'll go on there. It'll be like kids can qualify anywhere. They don't, even if they live in South Florida and they want to go qualify in North Texas, the kids can go to the North Texas qualifier and try to qualify there as well. So everybody kind of links to that website, and you can do the drop down, and it'll show you like what tournaments are coming up and tournaments close to you. So like our kids will go to North Florida if they don't qualify with us, or vice versa. Everyone offers different, money for kids as well. So kids might, maybe North Texas is offering everybody that wins, gets a free ride to the tournament. So they might go out there and try to enter in for that as well. So one thing I will say about our qualifier, we tend to get a lot of international kids that fly in from Jamaica, from the islands, to come up and try to qualify with us, because they don't take away from our spots. So as long as they shoot a qualifying score and they get one of our spots, we actually gain an extra spot if they win. So if say a kid from Jamaica comes in and wins our tournament or wins one of our spots, that actually opens up an extra spot for us. So it's in our favor, and it's in the kids' favor to come up and try to qualify with us as well. Just to give you a heads up.
So I guess the more wins you get, the more spots you have.
Yeah, what happens, how they come up with the spots is it's based on the field we had from, say we had a tournament in 2020, right? They're going to figure out, say we had 100 kids, that'll be what we have for spots for next year. So they'll give us 100 kids, and they'll say, okay, you had 15 kids, 10 to 12, you're going to have 4 spots next year in that age group. And we know that after this year's event. Unfortunately, we didn't have a tournament this year, so it'll go back to the 2019 qualifiers for next year. But it's based on the field we had in our district qualifier last year, so what we'll have as far as spots for next year. Next year, we have 3 spots in each age group. And then again, if any kid, outside of any non-district player that comes into plays and they win one of our spots, that opens up another spot for one of our kids in South Florida. So we'll actually end up with more spots than we actually had. So a lot of times that's what happens. We get kids from North Florida that come down, or kids from the islands, or we had a kid from France last year that played in our qualifier and actually won. So we actually end up with more spots throughout the year as well. So it's kind of I don't exactly know what the equation is for how they do that, but I know that we have 3 spots per age group next year. So, and hopefully our goal is we'd like to get over 100 kids next year. We've been close certain years, but 100 kids would be our goal next year, to try to see if we can get 100 kids to qualifier.
Wonderful. That's good. That's good.
Okay. It's a great tournament. I'll let everybody know. We'll get it out on the website. If you've never been to the, we'd love to have you come out and help with our qualifier. And if you've never actually been to the OIJGC tournament, it's a great tournament, and it's actually at Doral, so it's right in our backyard for anybody to come out and help, volunteer there as well. So we would definitely welcome that as well.
I think I would love for us to have more of us attend that tournament, and I think Danny, if you post all that information on the website and like specific date, and that could help us as well. Also, Danny, you did put on the chat, I guess, the hashtag maybe you can share it, maybe you can share it as well, just by saying what it is in case they missed seeing it in the chat.
Sure. So the hashtag for our district is just hashtag SFDOI, and our Twitter page is at SFDOI_ORG. Somebody else had taken SFDOI, and I don't know what they did with it, but they're suspended for some reason. So
I figured.
That's neither here nor there.
Okay. So going back to our schedule, Robin is with us, and Robin really works with the essay and the rhetorical and so forth. Can I get Robin to maybe jump in and talk a little bit about both? Robin?
Yes, good morning. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I was just unmuting myself. Good morning.
Go ahead. Good morning.
The essay topic is still under discussion to mesh with the oratorical topic, like it's done for, it started last year exactly. And so the oratorical contest is meaningful because if you get the kids to start out with the essay contest and they just flow right into the same idea but a different spin on the oratorical contest. So if they've done any scholarly work on writing their essay, then that just is icing on the cake for their oratorical. So basically, during this new normal pandemic crisis, they're still in discussions. Usually in the summertime, by this time, everything's up on the website, but it's not up on the website. But I understand that it should be finalized by the end of September. And so I'll let Brian, our South Florida District Governor-elect, know when I'm contacted. So the new board secretary can send out the essay topic to the lieutenant governors, who then can notify their clubs via email or a Zoom meeting. And the deadline to submit the two winners to the district finals is going to be Thursday, February 18th, 2021. Isn't that daunting for you all to hear 2021? My God, that's daunting for me. Anyway, it's going to be on a Thursday. So those people that, keep up with that will be able to do it, because I need to send the paperwork into OI by February 28th. So that will give the judges, a week to read all of them and, come up with a winner. And it's really hard because it's kind of like splitting hairs. However, on the oratorical contest, the topic has been established. It's not been on the website yet. So you hear it here first for our South Florida district. The oratorical topic, and it's good the kids can have it early now in the summer before they go back to school, is healing the world with optimism. And the deadline to submit your two club winners for the district finals is May 3rd, 2021. Woohoo! The oratorical contest, I'm going to speak to Brian, but it's going to be tentatively scheduled for Sunday, May 9th. And all the paperwork is due by May 15th. Of course, this year we were under the gun because of the pandemic. That's why I had all the paperwork done in advance, that type of thing. This time we'll have almost a week to get it in. So the location is still pending for our final district contest based on Governor-elect Brian's decision to, host it East Coast, West Coast. So you'll be brought up to date on that. So that's going to be figured out at a later date. And also, of course, it's going to be dependent on CDC guidelines if necessary. Okay, that concludes my all the thoughts that I have on the two contests. And I wish you all good luck. I'm happy this year that we had a club that didn't participate last year in the oratorical, and I'm hoping that it'll just grow. But how I got the Marco Island winner from the essay contest, Kevin, how I enticed him is when I spoke to his mom to get the Social Security number for the paperwork. I said, since he did such a great job on his essay, he can segue that into the oratorical. So I'm suggesting to all of you that you do the same thing with your oratorical contest students and you encourage them to continue with the oratorical because it's a few months later, and it does give them now, since I gave you the topic, it does give them now 5 months, 8 months to get it all together. So it should be a lot more organized for them than just having a few weeks to get it together, or a month at the very most. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Hey, Robin, I want to make a quick comment. Or Sandra, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, so the exact topic is healing the world with optimism. Is that correct?
For the oratorical, yes, for the oratorical. The essay contest I will get back to you on because that is still under discussion.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Jim, I'll wait for you before I make my comment. I thought you had your hand up.
Yeah, I did. I just in questioning if I heard that correctly, I think that's totally inappropriate for the times that we're in. I don't know if it's too late for the Optimus hierarchy to reconsider that, but I think that's a real.
Jim, I don't get your question or your comment.
Pardon?
Could you tell me what is inappropriate? I didn't catch that.
The first word, if I understood it correctly, the word killing.
No, healing, heal, H-E-A-L-I-N-G.
Healing.
Healing.
Oh, healing. I heard it as killing, and I was going to say help. Okay,
no,
I'm cool. I'll be quiet. I'm good. I'm good.
No, I think being an optimist, you were thinking of killing them with kindness.
I was just worried about that word.
Just to give you guys a background on where these topics come from, Optimus International does not pick the topics. The Joy kids at the Joy convention, they pick the topics for each year for the essay and the oratorical. So it comes from the Joy organization, and they're the ones that actually set the topics for the next year.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much for that comment. Yes.
Hey, Robin, I've got a question for you and everybody else in the in the audience. So we have a lot of different programs that different clubs run, and not all of them run oratorical or essay. So can a student from another club be adopted by a club that's running the oratorical or the essay? And I know they can, and that may be for all the other clubs, especially the clubs that are neighboring to each other. They are not running that program. I'm saying if they cannot run it, why not promote it at least and maybe have it run through another club that's close by them? And I'm thinking about, the few club, whether it's Glenn or Joe Witt or Charles that I saw before, or anybody else that doesn't run oratorical or the essay, to that matter of fact. If we're supporting the kids, doesn't really matter what club they're coming from, and maybe we can leverage each other resources and support and try to run that program even for kids that they belong to a club that doesn't run that program.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm sure that Mike Goldman remembers that when Jack Ross for years was chairperson of this particular committee, he got most of the kids from Highland Oaks Middle School, from the drama and debate teacher, and he just siphoned them out into the different clubs, Homestead, and people didn't have them. So that's absolutely acceptable, and all they have to do is go through the club judging. Now, even if you only have one kid and you say, well, okay, I need two, so you're automatically in, you should still have them go through the judging process at the club level, because then they can get feedback into how they can get even better for the finals. So you're doing them an injustice if you just have one and you want to submit that name without having them go through the process of, having given the presentation to the group with the timekeeper and the 3 judges, because after they give their oration, they can get more feedback before they go to the finals.
Yeah, at one time, Don, we used to have club competitions, which were large. They would go to a zone competition, then it would go to the district competition. And Jack used to actually go out and get, like she said, Highland Oaks Middle School. And we used to have Annunciation Catholic School used to bring us whole classes of kids. We'd have like 80 kids between 2 schools. And so a lot of times they would call up Miramar if Miramar didn't have any kids and say, hey, can we send you guys over 4? Can we send you over 6? They'd call up North Bay Village, Miami Shores, the clubs like that. And we would give them 6, 8 kids to run club competitions. And then that would make our program that much bigger. Plus our kids are, once they get to that next level, have been through the competitions, and it's not just showing up the day, like she just said, the district competition. Our kids have already gone through 2 other competitions before then, or at least 1. So they kind of know what to expect when they get there. And I think they are a little better because they have been told different things, and you can see the difference between the first competition and say the second or the third.
And that's what I'm leading to. Like, for example, Robin, if we can be more proactive when times start come in preparation for oratorical, is reach out to all the clubs, say, hey, whether you have 1 kid or 2 kids, this club is doing oratorical, and that they could send the 2 or 3 and have them start competing from the ground up with those kids from that other club as well. If we can get, obviously, all clubs should be on board with that. It doesn't matter where the kid come from and what club. Again, if we're all working for the same cause, so it doesn't really matter where the kid is coming from. I know North Bay Village does, and if they say, okay, we're gonna start our oratorical contest and so forth, whatever day, then whatever many clubs are a neighbor to them that don't have it, maybe start promoting it and working with those clubs. Say, hey, we're gonna start ours in the next month, and we'd love to have some of your kids come and join ours. And obviously that will grow the competition. And Mike, to what you said, yes, they're gonna go through the original one, the first one, then maybe second one, maybe third one. And obviously we're doing this for them to become better, effective speakers. That's what we're talking about. And the more experience they have, the more they become better at it. So I think we need to do maybe a little bit better job on, and I wish I had a chance to do it myself. I didn't, but maybe we should start looking at that for next year. The same thing with essay, is trying to push that a little bit more by having clubs share resources to come up, with the same cause.
And it could also work out that the 2 that were your finalists, if you have 4 more that didn't make it, you might offer them to another club that have not given their club contest yet as well.
And that too, I'm just saying, just a collaboration to give these kids more option, more chances at showing what they can do. That's really all what we're leading to. Yeah, yes, Brian, go ahead.
Robin, over in the chat, there's a question to see if you could repeat the deadline dates.
Yes, I could probably have Danny send it out, but I can give that to you. The deadline date for the essay topic from the clubs is Thursday, February 18th, 2021, because I have to send the paperwork by the 28th to OI. And for the oratorical contest, the date for the paperwork that's due is going to be May 15th.
Okay.
Excuse me, on the OI, okay, on the oratorical contest, the essays and all the paperwork have to be in by May 9th. The paperwork's due to OI by May 15th. So for the clubs, they have to get everything in by May 9th.
And Penelope, I appreciate you guys being involved.
The district, the club winners for the district finals is going to be scheduled tentatively for May 3rd.
I was saying, Penelope, I do appreciate your club being involved with a lot of kids outside of your club as well. That's really what we're talking about.
So anyway, to wrap it up, for the district finals, May 3rd is, going to be the date to get the paperwork in, the copy of their speech, so forth, and it'll all be on the website. And Sunday, May 9th, the paperwork's due. So, we're looking for that, and you'll get more information after the first of the year. And also, Sandra wasn't at the cocktail party last night when I was on, but I offered Charles Bethel from Richmond Heights area. Sandra said that she would be willing to mentor his club and share what she knows, from the years of, doing the oratorical. So Sandra, thank you very much. And he did acquiesce to have you try to help him as much as possible because he'd like to get his club involved. So thank you very much for reaching out to him last year.
Okay, and awesome.
You know, if you're going to do that too, just to piggyback on that, I know that there's some more clubs down south. I know that few of them are on here today. I know that Glenn was on here from South Kendall. I know we can get like Greater Goals with Dale Dempson. Them. Maybe we could do a zone competition down there next year.
Oh, good idea.
And I agree with you. I mean, if, you know, those, I think we need to start smaller, then expand bigger. And the more we can do on the smaller side, the better we're successful on the bigger side. And that's why we need to start with the zone. And I think it's a great idea, starting with the zone. And really, at the end of the day, we're saying, use your neighboring club to leverage their resources. Whether you're a sports club and another club is not, can you help them? And if you're a service club and another one is not as much, can you help them? So that way we can work more together.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you for all those suggestions of competition. The reason why I got a text message, the reason why the Kids Speak Up didn't fly this year, obviously, was because of the pandemic. But next year, you know, we hope to have more participation. And there's no deadlines, and it's not run by the district. It's individual clubs. So I hope to have more participation after the vaccine is in place and, you know, we're out of this new normal pandemic situation.
Hey, Robin, I don't know why it cannot be a district program as well. I mean, if we have enough people, and why not support the younger kids? I mean, the district doesn't have to have a big things for them, but we can still
I'm saying
say.
I'm saying it's initiated by the club. They do all the, you know, idea of going to the school, speaking to the principal, whatever. We can certainly do it like the oratorical and essay and have a, you know, a contest on a certain day and recognize them. That's a great idea.
Yes, I mean, nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. Okay, any other questions on essay or rhetorical from anybody? Okay, let's move on so we stay on target. The last item is really on the foundation and raising funds for the foundation. Brian, do you have something you want to say on that? Yes, I put you on, you know.
No.
Okay, so the foundation, basically this year, I don't believe anybody was able to provide any help for the foundation as far as financially from a different club. Just because I guess there was not the opportunity to do that. We're saying with this convention, with the little money that we have, several clubs donated, and thank you for the donation. I think at some point, Shannon, did you put in who have made the donation at all from all these clubs? If not, maybe we can post it later on as to who donated. That is listed. Okay, thank you. So for all the clubs that actually donated, we want to say thank you for the donation, and we're hoping that money that's generated, that will go back to the foundation. And by the way, the money that goes to the essay and I believe oratorical, Robin, correct me if I'm wrong, that comes from the foundation money, correct?
Yes.
And that's why we need to make sure we support the foundation, because they do a lot of things behind the scene and they support a lot of kids. So we need to make sure we do our part in providing as much as we can for them. And if any club here or not here, if you get them the word, if they're financially stable and they're able to make a donation, whether it's a $50, $100 or more, or whatever they can, I really urge them to make that small donation to Optimist Foundation, only because that money comes back into the pool of the kids, obviously. Yes.
John, did I understand correctly this year that the foundation did not have enough funds to do the normal scholarships for the oratory? That there was only the first prize that got the full scholarship?
That's what I heard, at least from what was sent to me, that the fund was a little bit less this year.
And, you know, to me, that was it's sad and it's disappointing for the kids that put so much hard work. And it really highlighted, I think, to our club in North Bay Village, because we don't have something set up to regularly donate. We do have like a savings account of about $6,000 that they're holding but the need that we do need to set up something regularly to support the foundation, especially during these kind of times when, you know, it's obviously everybody's going through a money crunch, and some of the bigger sponsors possibly have not been able to come through. Maybe the smaller donations put together can kind of make up for that lack.
It does. And you know what? Our club in general, we have commitment every year for $25,000 in scholarship to college kids, which means is every year we have 6 winners. Every year we have 6 winners, and the 6 winners value is $25,000 or 24-some thousand dollars, and that spread over 4 years. But every year you get it, which means you're obligated every year to $24,000. And we made it upon us make an extra effort to have a reserve account that accommodate for all that money as these people go in, and we make that commitment to pay them, because I can't turn around next year and say, I'm sorry, I told you I was going to give you that money, but I can't give it to you. So we made a reserve. Now, I'm not saying the foundation did something wrong or didn't do wrong, but the pandemic was outside of everybody. But, you know, maybe it could have been handled differently, maybe not. But it definitely on us as well, because the foundation is based on us helping them. They don't come up with money unless we help them. And apparently all of us, you know, got hurt this year, and some of us just didn't send any. So we all still have to do our part in generating as much as we can. Like you said, Sandra, if everybody puts in $50, it's better than nobody putting anything, or even $10. So it all adds up, you know what I mean? And I don't know if this had happened that year, and that's why they got into this predicament. Michael, can you share something else on that?
I can. A little bit on the backstory behind why the scholarship was a little bit cut for the second and third place. It only affected the international level to begin with. So none of the district levels got touched. As a matter of fact, our oratorical scholarships are endowed. We had a past governor, past vice president from our district that passed away, and his family endowed our scholarship. So our scholarship will, in perpetuity, be guaranteed for our either the 1 or the 2, whatever we want to do. Our money's guaranteed by his endowment in our district number 1. It was Bob Swisher that passed away, so that's why that's one of them. But none of the districts were affected by the difference. I don't know that the money has been a major issue. The issue becomes on the foundation level this year, especially, and with the pandemic and all kinds of foundation tax laws and all kinds of things that kind of come up from the government. We have a lot of money that gets raised and is raised for specific funds. So when the money comes in, it's coming into the OI Foundation. It's coming in for, say, childhood cancer, or it's coming in for one of the other funds that are earmarked funds. So the money that comes in and you earmark it has to go to those funds. You can't take the money out of one and put it towards the other one, or else you'll get all kinds of problems. So it wasn't necessarily a money issue. It was whether or not they were going to have enough money at the end of the year to make sure they could do it. And it's much worse to tell kids you're going to give them a scholarship and then run out of the funds in the other place, not being able to roll it over. So that's why it was cut that way. Next year, if it were in the same boat, I think they have figured out how to maneuver a little bit better. Unfortunately, this came in like March. So they had to make a decision based on what they had at the time. And there wasn't a whole lot of maneuverability to be able to guarantee what they have. They now have gotten a lot better. I think they got a lot different clarification and other things to be able to offer the full scholarships at the level that they were going to for next year. So I think next year's tournament's fine. But that's what happened. We have a lot of money that gets earmarked, and you just can't roll money in and out without all kinds of tax liability. So that's why that would happen the way that it happened. But it is, and they had to cut back on some of the regions as well. I think that they made the St. Lawrence and the international region had to go together just to make sure that they could fund what they said that they were going to fund. I can tell you this though, we are meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes, we are.
I think I can get the president of the foundation to give a 5-minute thing. Would you be able to fit it into the schedule?
I'm sure we can squeeze him in somewhere.
See if I can get Bill Myers, who's the president of the foundation. He might be able to come in and shed some light on the foundation and kind of what's going on this year and how clubs can really help out in certain ways.
Shannon, if you could maybe just look at the schedule a little bit and figure out where we can squeeze him in.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of him this afternoon and make sure that he can come, and I'm sure he could probably make at least a 5-10 minute presentation tomorrow.
If Mike, if you can find out from him when he would be able to come in and jump in on the conference, like give us like an hour window maybe, and then I could.
What's the timing that you would like? And I'll see if he can make that.
Look at the Sunday.
If we run on time, if we're going on time, maybe we could maybe start him off like right after the memorial, and if
And what time would that be? I'm not looking at the schedule.
that would be at like 2:10. If he could come in at 2:10.
Okay, I will. I'll give him a call today and I'll let you know. But I'm sure I'm pretty sure he could probably make a presentation. Please come in and answer some questions that everybody has. So.
Great, thank you so much.
All right.
That's good. Thank you. Is there any other questions before we close the day?
Yes, I just had a motion, if it's appropriate, for the money that's raised through Sunday for the silent auction, for that to be earmarked to the foundation.
Yes, that's correct. That's the purpose of that money, is to go to the foundation.
Right, I thought that was automatic, but I just
Yes.
wanted to mention it to those people that might not know. And if a
Yeah.
motion was needed, I was going to make a motion. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's earmarked specifically for the foundation.
Yeah, that always goes to the foundation. And we actually, John, if you want to mention this too, I mean, I'll go ahead and mention it.
You got it.
We always match whatever the silent auction makes. It's always matched by the district, and we send that over to the foundation. I don't know if you plan on doing the same thing this year, John.
We are. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yes, that's what's going to the foundation. Okay. If this is all, then I'd like Shannon, you're still with us, if you don't mind. Danny, you're still somewhere?
Yeah, I'm here.
Could you, do you have the creed you can share on the screen? I'd like Shannon to recite the creed before we finish.
Give me just a moment.
If, please. And maybe you can share it on the screen and she can cite the creed.
All right, can you folks see that?
And maybe John mentioned, or Shannon, that the people that saying the creed on their devices, for them to mute their devices so we only hear Shannon's voice.
Agreed. Shannon, it's all yours.
Okay, the Optimist Creed. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble.
Thank you, Shannon. With this, I will, unless any other comments, I will close the day for today.
Hey, John, I did speak to Bill Myers, the president of the foundation. He is available tomorrow and would be glad to attend. So, Shannon, I'm going to send you his email address. You can just email him the link to get into the meeting tomorrow.
Great.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Thank you, Michael, for doing this for us.
No problem.
And Patrick, we'll see you tomorrow for sure. All right. Everybody that showed up today, I'm very grateful you were here today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Michael, call me if we can.
Thank you.
No problem, Jal. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Danny, I'll let you manage the end of the meeting.
Have a good one.
With closing.
Bye. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Ellen.